friend and Gordon Gab of GabGames.com. And this is Need to Be Unbound. I was working on my future trunk story arc, but it's trying to act like I don't know what I'm doing, even though I have 10 episodes under my belt just about. I'm not going to play around with bullshit just for the sake of the game. No Man's Sky. I'll get back to No Man's Sky. Just right now, like I said, I went on the bench to do guys. I'm going to take my time. Last night, it was crazy. I was sleeping. I was woken by loud entry. That happened around 4:30, 5 o'clock. A little bit later, gunfire erupts. First, somebody fired shots. Then there was retaliation shots. And then there was a third set of shots. As I laid in my bed, thinking, what did they do to make them niggas that mad? Oh, excuse me. That was 4:36 this morning. Because I text my lady friend, like, they just shot shit up around here. Crazy. It's at 4:36. Then even crazier, I don't hear any sirens. I hear sirens when I play my music loud on my phone. So I was an ambulance pop up somewhere. But after all this gunfire, I don't hear any sirens. That's fucked up. But again, so I had to hear the car around 4 o'clock. Gunshots happened about 4:30, 4:35. So it had to last for about 2 minutes. Minute and a half. They shot that bitch up. You know? And then right after the gunshots happened and the car speeds on, it started raining like a fucking movie. Like immediate after you hear the car screech off, it started raining like a fucking movie. Fucking nuts. Somebody said it's even crazier. I'm listening. I'm laying here. I don't hear any silence. No flashing lights. Nothing. And we're like, I live literally 3 to 5 minutes away from the police. Sirens on, get gunshot. They can be here in 3 minutes. Max. No. I find that really crazy. Every game, these motherfuckers everywhere. Fuck me everywhere. crazy. Hear sirens now. No sirens. No fucking sirens. Motherfuckers get shot the fuck up. I probably heard a faint scream. Hey, yeah. But motherfuckers get shot the fuck up. No fucking sirens. Normally I don't race this morning. 3 people. But I'm enjoying my, what you call it? Crazy. Somebody ripped my mother's mirror off the car. Like, who she done pissed off? Because she always complaining about her parking spot in front of her house. Up the street. I can see if it's winter. I can see it's out to the parking spot. I think I know who it is. That bitch across the street. I told that bitch don't block my driveway. Not my driveway. Walk me. Try to let these motherfuckers go ahead. This game is tricky sometimes. In the drift, I need to see the road. I can't do it. I don't got control of that car. Not bringing me down. That's it. They're trying to cheat me now. There ain't no car. That's straight bullshit. I'm much rather seeing traffic versus trying to fucking control my car. I've played the same races over and over, but not just one car, but all my cars, bomber cars, and drift cars, just to make sure I had handles of my car, so that trying to take away the time that I spend in perfecting driving my car, you know, that's bullshit. And it look like an average. Just improve my precision driving. Like we make good racers type of shit. Good racers. Trying to pull the motherfucker down. Don't be a crab in a bucket. Elevate the motherfucker. Put him on the post. Practice and time. Put the time in that. Penalize myself. Put the time there. Just, of course, a little more rigorous in that shit. That's good. Motherfucker good. Motherfucker good. Don't try to deny a motherfucker being good for everything else. Great. Can't be like, oh, you got a lot of time and effort in here. That's not fair. Not fair, I'll put time in that. Motherfucker that just started. Supposed to be the motherfucker that got time and effort and shit. Everybody play a lot of video games like driving fast. It's a racing game. You know, this is turning from, it's not really a racing game. It's a driving game with races. So first things first, learn how to fucking drive. You know? Control speed.
.2440 in the area doing something they shouldn't be doing.
Shit like that. Stop. Because you need both brakes to stop. One and control. How to control your speed. That's why I tell people, you hold down both triggers. hold down both triggers, start doing the burnout. You ease up on one trigger, which is the left trigger, the brake trigger, which gains speed. If you let it all the way go, take all the way the fuck off. But if you hold it down at a good ratio to your accelerator, you're not necessarily speeding. Now you're driving. You don't need to speed to drift around corners.
Look at this asshole.
Some people act like they don't need a brake. That's the difference between, those that play video games. That's the first difference between arcade fun and skills. Just arcade fun and skills. Arcade fun, I don't ever have to hit the brakes. Not just dodge everything in front. I am speed. I am fast. I don't give a fuck about hitting the brakes. All I know is gas. No. Never have to hit the brake. Fuck them brakes. My brakes are so dope. I never had to hit the brakes until I'm at a corner. Like I said, some people still play like kids. And there's nothing wrong with enjoying video games. But at the same time, are you playing to be good, or are you playing to just Mario Party that bitch? There's a difference between Mario Party and Gran Turismo. Now, this is one of those games you can play like Mario Party. It's just fun, has no real, no real consequences. Everything seems like it's a little bit of chance. Or you can actually get good. This game adapts to your playstyle. No, like 2K plays. No, the more you hold down the L2 button, the more the game compensates for it. Because it assumes you don't know how to play defense because you're holding down the L2 button. You hold down the defensive assist button. You always need assistance on defense because you don't know how to play the game. Not a double team button, it's a defensive assist button. So the game compensates for it. So you think that you're playing defense when you're not really playing defense. You're just holding down the button. The button make you feel like you're playing defense, but you're really not. So people be playing a match that ain't a real match. You know what I mean? It's a difference between what you see and what you feel on the controller. Like, hell no, I'm playing defense. Yo, man, it's nowhere near my man. It's no reason that when I cross half court and you all the way at the 3-point line, that I should feel defensive pressure when you're not putting on defensive pressure. You're just holding down the L2 button. That's why you ever seen the person cross half court and it looks like they get pushed back court even though there is no contact? It's because they're holding down that L2 button. So it'll feel like something's like you're playing defense on a control. It feels like you're creating a resistance, but in reality, on what's going on the screen, it ain't happening. So some people play with the feel of the control versus what's really happening on the fucking game. I'm not bullshitting. I've been game. All I do is game. You gonna listen to the motherfucker that, you know, yell at the game all day. That's why I stopped playing games I yell at, because I realize it's not me. It's the game. If you gotta say that's 2K shit, that's bullshit, that's, you know, the computer cheating me every fucking time, it might be something. But are you doing what you need to do to make sure that you know how to play? Like I said, I've watched matches where cars flip the fuck over all in front of me numerous times. And this motherfucker wins. The drift race. Like, how? This motherfucker can't even stay on the fucking road, let alone control the car. How the fuck is that the motherfucker that's winning? Sometimes video games do got a video game. That's why, like, there's certain games like the Souls game, Demon Souls, and Elden Ring, and shit like that, that I do believe bullshit. For the sake of saying that they're a hard game, I believe some of them are encoded to be like you gotta lose 3 matches. For real. Before you have a chance to win. Type shit. Because usually, the people that are like, I can go through the game without taking a hit. Like, it's never, I don't ever remember seeing one that's a good game. You know? It's always like new game plus. So you ran through hours of it, but the game knows. Because developers are ass. Some developers are ass. Some developers, they don't use movie magic. They use underhanded tactics. Like, movie magic is silent here. We had to put fog over everything just on the grounds that we couldn't render long distances. Movie magic. So to make it look like the game has depth and the world is fast, they covered everything in fog. So that only things this close gotta render and everything else is fog. That's why the game was covered in fog and atmosphere. They couldn't render fucking long distances. That's movie magic. Versus, let's see, 1 in 500 Apex packs give you a chance of unlocking Apex shots. You gotta go through at least 500 packs, right? And let's say on your first pack, 1 in 500, you unlock Apex shots. You have to cycle through the other 499 before you have another 1 in 500 chance of unlocking Apex pack. See what I mean? The bullshit. And then they try to, for something that's supposed to be like, it's required to get shit in the game. There's no way that it should be that much, that hard to get it. It's required. It's something required in the game. They want you to buy it. They want you to buy the pack. Get what I'm saying? And then they're like, you're lucky that we made it every 500 that you could get one. So be happy with that. When it's a requirement to get certain shit in the game, you gotta buy 500 Apex packs. That's not movie magic. That's not, that's just fucking predatory shit. You get more packs if you buy a battle pass. If you don't buy a battle pass, that 1 in 500 crawl grind becomes way worse. Where is that cool? Where is that fair? Where is that acceptable? Like, how else are we gonna make our money? You make a full fucking game and you charge full price. That's how you make your fucking money. It's not that gamers don't have money. It's the ones you're targeting don't. Which are the kids. They don't have money. The adult gamer has money. You're targeting fucking kids. They don't have money. Adult gamer ain't got money. I mean, the kids ain't got money. The adult gamer got money. And most times, they don't mind spending on their hobbies if you have a good game. Apex biggest event in the past 3 years was the Gundam event. Because most Gundam people are over 40. Or over 30 for sure. Most people that like Gundam are over 30. That was their most successful event. The Simpsons. One of Fortnite's most successful events. Why? Because they have a fan base for over 20-25 years. They have a fan base of people that got money. That's just a fact about it. Keep targeting kids, you know? And then, they're preying on kids' inability to understand smart financial investing and spending. But the kids, they don't know shit about that. You know? If an adult preys on a kid, they're called predators. Why aren't we labeling some of these game companies as predators? Stupid kids, come hop in my van and get some candy. But first, go on your mom's purse and bring me gas money for my van. That's what game companies are doing. Not all of them, but there are some that uphold a good standard. I was just watching the video, they're like, what's going on with Fortnite? Fortnite has hit its all-time lows, and, even though they bring in like $1.6 million a day, their player count is down. I'm like, duh. Those young adults, those teens, they're not even young adults at the time. Those kids and teens that you grew in are now becoming young adults, realizing that mom and dad ain't gonna fund your shit no more. And unless you get a decent job and get them hours in at work, you're not gonna be able to afford your pastime. They're at an age where bitches, boobs, and supposed to be the books is the focus. They got pay for dates now. They don't have enough money for their phone bill because they don't understand working. Even if you're not working full time, that hustling hours at the job is money. So your fan base got older and it's dying off. More than half their fan base probably won't come back once they hit 18. Between 18 and 26. Maybe even 30, depending on development. They won't come back. And then Fortnite don't cater to women. Because normally women have it together a little bit better. They want shit. They're materialistic. So financially, women are set off better than most guys in their early ages. Of adulthood. Still adulthood, just in the early ages of adulthood, women are set off better. Because you're an adult now. I couldn't afford my first system. My first system out of pocket full until the PlayStation 5. The first system I bought for myself, new, unboxing, was the PlayStation 5. I had a 360 I bought used. I had a PlayStation 4 I bought refurbished. I bought my daughter a PlayStation 4 Pro for Christmas. So technically, that's the first console I bought. You know, that with another place. Two that I bought out the box, but it wasn't for me. For my daughter. You get what I'm saying? Now it's well into my 30s. That's right, I'm 30 something. For myself, but I had a kid, you know. So they gotta understand their fan base is growing older, which is they're dying. And then given how much they give into social society and things like that, because people are trying to change who you are fundamentally to suit them. They'd be lucky if a quarter of that fan base come back. The ones that grew up with them and made them money. Then Fortnite to the younger generation, to the kids. That's my big brother used to play that, or like that's old man game. Overwatch been took over for Fortnite. Technically, and then they lost to Marvel Rivals because of all the Marvel stuff. So it's been their core fan base that's been keeping them going. But their core fan base can't afford it. Mom, Dad, can I? Hell no. Get you a job, bum. Get your own shit. I got a job, but I can't pay for it. You're not prepared to pay for food, my dorm. Sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. No, I can't afford that and take my girl out. Sounds like a you problem and not a me problem. So they lucky if their fan base come back. So Fortnite is dying. I could save it. I could save it. What year did Fortnite come out?
Fortnite was released.
Realizing they gotta pay for their own shit. Wait until they're able to drink and they start spending their V-Bucks money on booze. And that's if you start them at 10. But most probably picked it up at about 12, 13. Putting them at 23. Middle of college. Can't afford shit. And then, if they not in college, more than likely their parents are like, you can't sit around playing the game all day doing nothing. So they stop buying them game consoles. course they're about to get a decline. You can't even hit that corner. You're better than me. Just is what it is. I love the way this shit happens. This shit feels so good. This Lambo feels like holding my dick. Oh, come on, man. I'm fucking ready. So, their fan base is declining. Their fan base can't afford it. Then it's an old man game. 10 years? That means a kid that was 5 ain't really fucking with it right now. Now they put them at 15. That's my big brother game. The older folks ain't really fucking with it. Because it's a young man's game. It's not bad. I like Fortnite. Don't get it twisted. I like Fortnite. But, you know, I can help them. I can help every game regain what they need. The they need. First, they gotta invest in a new property. When was the last time they dropped something new? They haven't. So therefore, you've really been relying on your fans for those 10 to 14-year-olds to grow up. You know, you've been milking them. When did you invest in any other age group besides those people? No. So, you better start investing for that, you know, 24 and up range. Then you gotta hit that 7 to 12 range. And that's with a new property. That's not, you know. Because they didn't think about it. They thought that their fan base was just going to stay the same age forever. You know? Like, I don't know. Fortnite about to be that game in another 5 years. Like, whatever. I remember I used to play that game all the time. I wonder what happened to that game. I said they could afford their own system. The ones that's actual gamers, they wouldn't mind getting it refurbished or finding some that's second hand. But motherfuckers like $300 for a used game. Might as well buy a Nintendo Switch before I buy a used fucking game for $300. Because game systems keep going up. And I might as well buy a new Nintendo Switch versus use fucking Xbox. I'll check in a second after this race. PS5 times 300, 350. That's one for 280. 350, 400, 300, 350, 375, 350, 330, 500. 2 games in a few, with 2 controllers in a few games. 300, 300. Oh, got one for 290. 300. So we're gonna say that the average is $330 for a used game that you hope work. It's a used game. My God, days, it's a long time away from the days that where it was like $120 for a used game. So you're gonna be missing out on those people that was giving them money. I think that's why they tried to bring back the mobile version, Fortnite mobile. But once you play on the console, it's like ain't no going back. Not unless you're really a fan. So Fortnite is kind of on its last leg. Epic Games, if they don't make another game catering to the new generation. When I say new generation, not new generation of kids, those that were already fans, they lose their fan base. When their fan base come back, they're gonna go to sports games, they're gonna go to first person shooters, and they're gonna forget about Epic Games. Epic Games haven't made another game. They went from Fruit Ninja to Fortnite. Know what I mean? Once they realize, because I gotta fund this shit myself. I ain't got that money. You know? Me personally, I game. I hoop. I exercise. That's me. I accepted this as my lifestyle a long time ago when I beat Aladdin on the Sega Genesis. You know? Like I said, I went a stretch. Almost 10 years without a system. Because, right? I didn't get my life back together until I bought me a 360. You know, I had a span of about 3 to 4 years where I didn't have a system. And that 3 to 4 years, my life went to shit that bad. Maybe took about a year and a half. But another year and a half to dig out that hole. And then, you know, I said, in order to ground myself again and get focused, I needed a system. You know, I'm a gamer. That's what I do. It's my place of zen. It's my focal point. I could work through a lot sitting here mentally a lot better than I could running around like a chicken with its head cut off. have a focal point to focus. It helps. So gaming is, like I say, it's a lifestyle. But they're trying to advance gaming more than it is on some bullshit is the reason why a lot of people can't afford it. Because right now, you can only get so far in graphics. You know, there was a chip shortage, or there is a chip shortage. Like, to say that we need to make a more powerful console is false. We need better techniques to maximize what we have first. We need innovation or creativity in gaming. Don't need more power. Ha 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 ha. Like a motherfucker that can't even drive talking about I need a Lambo. Last thing you need is the power of a Lambo at your feet. You need more experience behind the wheel first, motherfucker. That's what you need. You know? And that's why society itself is kind of lacking in the innovation side. Because we keep trying to push for more power versus the brain making the equipment. What was the last innovation in society? Solar mills, maybe solar panels, and that still hasn't fully taken off. I'm talking about in society. Not just in the gaming market. VR, I'm all about VR. VR is cool. I think VR has its application. If they really want VR to take off, all they need to do is make 2 games in VR and it's a wrap. All they need to do is make Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! In VR. And it's a wrap. VR takes off. What you mean I can battle with a Pikachu? Like I'm in, you know, I gotta duel this? What you mean? Those 2 games right there itself help VR become the next big thing. And then they're gonna put behind the software to go along with the hardware. But the hardware don't have the software. And then it's not just that, because once it takes off, you need practical use of VR technology. Like I've seen some people paint murals by putting overlays through the VR thing. You know, the stencil, the VR uses this as a stencil. It uses a stencil through, they use a stencil through the VR. If that makes sense. Like, this is my canvas, let me place the stencil over there, and let me get the painting over the stencil. Even though you don't see the stencil, they see the stencil. Practical use. Next thing would be teaching surgeons how to go through surgery and what they could expect to see. Things like that. Practical use. You know? I also had an idea that I'm not giving away right now because it's money. But the practical use of it, they got the pass-through, which allows you to see things in real time, and it gives you information, kind of like smart glasses. Now, imagine That's why smart glasses are a thing and are viable. Imagine your contractor. A contractor never fucking up because they got this extra added assistant to help give instruction, help give measurements, things like that. At all times, they got a constant feed of information coming in. Like, what project are we working on? We're building a deck. Let's analyze the work area. You can visualize an attack. You stand in this work area, you put on your meta glasses, you build a 3D model, what you're building. It gives you the dimensions. It gives you the materials, where the materials are, how much the materials are. Things like that. Practical application. It starts with the fun. WTF. Where is the fun? And then you come up with a practical application as to why it's needed. Computers. Why the fuck do you need a computer? Homework? I don't have to go to the library to go research stuff anymore. All the information is on the computer. Does make a good point there. No, he's a little slow. You can't trust him out there alone. Yes! Now motherfuckers watching porn, playing video games, and pirating music. Damn computers. But real world application. Computers have improved businesses. It has improved violence. It has improved a lot just for the common man. Running equations and all types of shit. But they would never became mass used products if they didn't have a fun application to it, which are games. They wouldn't have been in households. Man. But they wouldn't have been widely available if they didn't have a reason to push them to homes. And the reason to push them to homes were gangs. So does VR have practical real world usage? Yes. Yes, it does. I prefer the VR goggles versus smart glasses. Smart glasses look cooler, they look sleeker. But again, it goes into the privacy issue that most people have.
Eyes on that driver.
Movies will never be safe. Live entertainment will never be safe. Like, excuse me, sir, you can't wear those glasses in here, smart glasses. But that's the only way I could see. They're prescription smart glasses. That's a whole argument. Like, motherfucker, they come to see my show, but So it's a big blurred line at the moment. To have it clearly separated as to where, meta, like the Meta Quest. It's clearly yes, it's a VR goggle. You know, it stands out, stuff like that. You know, it's a lot better because it's easier to be like, no. You know? But it's the discreetness of the meta glasses that it's like, I'm okay. You know? So the VR glasses are cool. They're better to me. Versus the glasses. The VR headsets are better than the glasses. But you still have to have practical uses. Again, just being able to, like, oranges. I think it's oranges. Oranges, grapes, fruits. Surgeons go through tests where it's like, peel the skin off this grape without destroying the grape. Peel the skin off of this fruit without destroying the fruit. Okay, you got the physical touch aspect of it. You understand? Of the surgery. But to prepare your mind for what you're gonna see, like it's not a grape, motherfucker. You're gonna see blood and guts and organs and you know, whereas everything placed inside the body from a certain incision point, the glasses can help better. Because if you got a weak stomach, it's like walking into a public bathroom and seeing a toilet full of shit. Like even working in construction, if you got a weak stomach, it ain't necessarily for you. You walk in some of these houses that need to be demolished, and it's like, fuck. Disgusting. You see some disgusting shit. Disgusting shit. We all at the same place and this nigga got 25,000. Smoking eyes. practical application to make it better. Just the ability for contractors to be able to be like, here's what I'm building. Let's use this 3D model in the virtual space. And let's use, the live footage to build a 3D model in a virtual space and see what all we need. Damn. Bullshit. Bullshit. So, Fortnite's dead. It's just about dead. Epic Games may die with it if they don't put out something good. The fans grew up, and at the moment, they can't afford it. That's why events like The Simpsons, which bring in the older crowd, even Apex events like Gundam that brought in the older crowd, it, you know, They brought in people that spends money, that have money to spend. 'Cause they're more stable. You know? Have Right. And then like Fortnite's not for me. It's a crowd that's like Fortnite's not for me because that's for my big brother. That's something my big brother used to play. Fuck him. Or fuck my big brother, fuck my big sister, fuck them. That's their game. It's not my game. You know? I fuck that shit just because big brother, big sister used to play it. Fuck that. You know? Don't you touch my Fortnite profile. Fuck you up, you little motherfucker. Stay away from Fortnite. The ones that did, those 10 to 14-year-olds are now 20, 24-year-olds that can't afford it.
Racer here, dispatch.
You know, once a fan base turns, go to school to get a job. You know, because Fortnite been around for 10 years. What makes you think Fortnite is for 5-year-olds? You think a 5-year-old is gonna go learn how to build like that? Fortnite ain't for 5-year-olds. Kid to play whatever you put in their hand. Yeah, because they get a chance to play the video game. But Fortnite ain't for 5-year-old. Roblox is taking that 10 to 14-year-old landscape right now. Fortnite literally been living on their core fans who now have to afford their own shit. Roblox is Fortnite's problem. Because that's the generation under the ones that they started mentoring. We're going to say mentoring and not grooming. That's that next generation of 10 to 14-year-olds that's going to play this game until they're 20, 21. You know, first year or two in college until parents cut them off. You know, if they do good in school, their parents will keep them on and string them on a little longer. But for the most part, you know, that's if you're going to college and doing good, your parents will fund you a little bit, and then they won't even fund your video game habits. You're taking your food money to buy V-Bucks and Roblox. There was a Mercedes. There we go. No, that's Land Rover. I wanted to know what are you, B? Switch up the bar. That you're on A plus. That's as high as you'll get, huh? Unless I do all the extra. I'm not doing all the extra right now. Put on Drift Pro tires. All cars must be Drift Pro. Roblox is already up on the chopping block. Again, when you real, that's why free-to-play games tend to die off the way they do, because it's only for a niche group of people that can't afford games. When I say can't afford games, they can't afford games for the system. They have to wait till birthdays, report cards, Christmas, stuff like that. These are the people that keep those games alive. Then there's a group that can't afford consoles. There's a daycare down the street. That's why you probably hear kids. There's a group that can't afford consoles. They're too old for mom and dad to buy them a console. And now the reality of life is hitting them like, this shit is a lot more expensive than I previously believed. Guy that got me my job, I told him, look, I'm gonna hustle up these hours because I got bills. You ain't got no real bills, but stick with me. You gonna make this money, and you can move up because I don't fuck around when it comes to this money. You know? He's like, yeah, I'm with you, can't hang. You know, young man, 21 at the time, 21 at the time, and, you know, he didn't believe back into the streets, so that's so the old. I need to fix my work. Seen him online recently. You know, he lost his job. He said he in school, and then when he called me the other day, he like, yeah, I'm going back to school. I'm waiting for classes to start. This and that. And I'm like, that sounds fucking bullshit to me, son. But I ain't seen him online, none of this, because he ain't realized he gotta buckle down. So, all you gotta do is ride my coattails, nigga. You got me the job. I'll let you ride the coattails. All you gotta do is come to work. Just come to work on time. Be there when you're supposed to be. You'll be my number 2. You'll be my number 2. And now he ain't even online. Why? Because Daddy probably won't let him play his PlayStation 5 no more. Get your own game. Well, he was actually playing his brother's game, I think. Either way, you know, he was using his dad's profile. I'll even let him use my profile. Look at my profile. I got a lot of shit on my profile, man. Some free, and then there's a lot that I bought. I got hard disk in my drawer. Like, just do what you're supposed to do. And I'll let you keep my profile on your system. Okay, he couldn't do it. Just because he's at an age. When I say boys and girls mature different. My 22-year-old girlfriend, she got 2 jobs. And, you know, she still want to spend time with me and all this shit. And around the same age, 2 different mentalities. And she know what she wants. It's a difference. You know, he don't really know what he wants. Because guys are taught to do. You know, as long as you can do, you're capable man. All that thinking, nobody wants you to do all that thinking. Shut the fuck up and do as I say. That's order of parents. Go to school, shut the fuck up and do what I say. Get in the job force, shut the fuck up and do what I say. This is why men, evolve differently. Not that we don't eventually hit the same plateau, just why the plateau is different. That's why women, as they get older, they have a problem doing for themselves. Because it's always, think about shit, think about your future, plan for your future, shit like that. And then when it comes time to execute, they kind of stumble because they've been taught to think, plan, and organize versus do. So when it comes time for them to do for themselves, they get overwhelmed. It's so much to do. It's so much to do. When a man, he gonna tell that same woman, look, here's what you gotta do. This is what you do. This is what you do. You tell a man, think about your actions before. Like, man, all that thinking hurts my head. Because of the way we're raised in society. So she know what she want to do. She thought about what she want to do. She like, you always hear, if you don't be smart and take care of yourself, then you're going to rely on somebody else. And she like, I ain't relying on nobody else. That's why she worked 2 jobs. As to where him, it's like, here's what trying to beat into his head. Here's what you got to do. Think about what you want to do. Because that's what people tell him. Think about what you want to do for your future. Now I'm trying to beat in his head. This is what you got to do. No matter what you want to do, this is what you got to do. You want the bitches, you got to work to take these bitches out. You want a game all day, you got to work in order to afford the games. Ain't nobody going to buy it for you. You want a roof over your head, nigga, you got to work. You got to. Here's what you got to do. Should have told his ass, shut up and do it. Probably would have reached him a little bit better. But women are always taught, think about this, plan this, organize this. So when it comes time to do, they stumble. And men, when it comes to thinking, planning, and organizing, a lot of them stumble. Until eventually there's a balance. They balance themselves out, which is stability. Being able to think, plan, and execute is stability. Think, plan, execute. Stability. That's why some people aren't stable. It's just the way, it's the dumbass way society raises us. That's why it's women in their 40s that's like, bitch, you mentally unstable. You think you ain't got to do shit. You think a man got to do everything for you. And it's men in their 40s that just can't think for themselves. Now, you don't think about shit you got to do you? I ain't never thought about it like that. You ain't never thought about shit. Because we don't teach men to think and we don't teach women to do. But that's a societal problem. That's not necessarily, it's not a knock against either gender. It's just calling a spade, a duck, a duck. You understand? It's not to start a gender war. Motherfuckers be like, oh, he hate bitches. Like, no, it's calling a spade, a duck, a duck. This is why we are the way we are. You know, I said it the other day. As long as a man can lift some heavy shit, he always got a job, irregardless of education. And those jobs usually pay more than an educated woman because their job is to think, organize, and plan. A man's job is to lift and do. You don't need an education to lift and do. Unless you get a little higher up, like construction. Unless you're an architect or the head engineer, you don't need an education. Here, carry these beams, use this equipment, do this shit. Carry the heavy shit. You know, it's this job to make sure, this guy's job, the head engineer, to make sure we got the proper shit. And it's in the proper place. But you ain't gotta do no heavy lifting. You know, it's all done by people that does heavy lifting. So as long as a man can lift something heavy, he always gonna have a job. As long as a woman can think, plan, and organize, you know, and especially male heavy jobs, she will have a place. It's not just because she's a pretty lady. She could be fucking ugly. You know, it just helps if she got a nice bitch. Have the guys focus. But she could be fugly. Because a group of men don't plan, think, and organize. You know? Like, what do you think, boss? Shit, I don't know. But here's what we're gonna do. Because we do. What you think, boss? I think it's a bunch of bullshit. So here's what we're gonna do. Ask a man what we're gonna do, not what he thinks. And a man to give you an answer. Most men will give you an answer asking what we're gonna do. What you gonna do about this? You know? And if he say, I don't know, more than likely what's gonna come after that is, I gotta think about it. Because we don't think. So if men don't know what to do, it's because we gotta think. Which is where the ladies step in. When I thought about it, here's what I think we should do. Like, you know what? I could do that. That's plausible. That's doable. And now you have an open line of communication. A man say, I don't know. I don't know. I gotta think about that shit. No matter age, race, you know, like, I don't know, religion. A man gonna say, I don't know. I gotta think about it. And that's the only time we don't know. But don't ask a man what do you think about it. Ask him what you should do. Because men are doers. Don't ask a woman what she gonna do about it. Ask a woman what she gonna do about it. She gonna say, I don't know what to do. Ask a woman what she think about it, and she gonna give you 1,000,001 fucking thing on what she think about it. And this is just fucking facts. Facts of life. But like, where does this fit into gaming again? It fit into gaming and your core fan base being men. And when you over here preying on kids between 10 and 14, like a Fortnite, like a Roblox, at some point they're going to become adults. And it takes men a lot longer to adapt than women financially. You know, unless you got one who comes from a strict household. Usually, those men that succeed early come from a strict household. Do. You gotta do. You know, so when it comes time to do elsewhere, you're like, shit, I'm used to it. Yes, ma'am, yes, sir. So when they get to the workforce, it's not too bad. Now you don't want to ride them too hard, because if you ride them too hard, you're going to break them. Work without reward, it's going to start feeling pointless. I don't even know what I want to do. All people keep telling me to do is to. I hit that breaking point. What you mean? I can't do that. Shit, fuck that. All my life, motherfuckers telling me what to do. I show up and then pass the flying fucking coat. Start laying my head down. I don't want you to know I can't do that. I used to pick on fucking I thought you could do it. Why you pretend that you can't? Because all they're gonna do, all the rewards for doing good is to do more. That's the reward for doing good, to do more. But that's neither here nor there. So it's like, that's important to know. These games kill themselves because they prey on a particular age range. That age range gonna grow up. They can't. That's going. They hit it. It's just a stage of transition from mom and dad doing to doing for yourself. Women transition better because plan, think, and organize. So most women have the first half of their life planned the fuck out. They think about it and organize it. I want to do, and then I want to do, and then I'm gonna do, and then when as long as they follow the plan, the execution happens. But then when it comes time to, I need to do this, I need to do that, because
I bet that car isn't street legal.
sometimes it's not fulfilling to a certain point. Like I could go to any job and execute, do my job greatly, and I'm at a point now where I kind of want to move up in my career. People don't understand, your career and your job are two different things. Your job could be your career, but your job isn't your career. How you look on paper is your career. Have you moved up? Some people been working for 30 years and never moved up. What I mean by moved up, never been supervisor, never been a team lead, never been a line lead, never led shit. They just always been soldier on the front line. Career wise, they've been stagnant. They've probably made more money, because they've been with a company for a couple of years and promotion and raises, but a raise isn't a promotion advancing your career. They got fired right now, they go back to the front line on a new job. That's to where some people advance their career. That even if they got fired right now, they can pick back up their career somewhere else. And this is the reason I want to be a manager where I'm at for at least 5 years. You know, whether part-time, full-time, shit, some of the time. You know, I don't give a fuck. I want to be a manager for 5 years. So that when I get fired, or if I get fired, I ain't gonna say when. If I get fired or I decide to move on, I don't have to take anything less than manager. Because my career advanced. I don't have to go back to common worker. Because my career advanced. Career and job aren't the same thing. Technically, I'm a business owner. To be like, my career, just making it make sense from beginning to end is the paperwork. So when I say do your paperwork, paperwork isn't always physical paperwork. It's the metaphorical paperwork sometimes. How do you look on fucking paper? And then show your work. Most people don't think like me. So, grain of salt. True. Most people don't think like me. I'm gonna say some people, not just guys, men, women. Shit, a lot of people don't think like me. But, you know, I hung around a lot of women, because I like women. Find me around the pretty women before you find me around the fellas. But don't change the fact that I'm a man. You know, I understand sometimes the dynamic. If I wasn't a capable man, that they could be like, Brandon, can you, Brandon, please? God, perk up the girls a little bit more. Like this. Okay. You know, if I wasn't a man that could do it, they wouldn't really care to have me around. You know, because you're going to have to butter me up a little bit. I don't play with my thoughts. Fuck no. I'll be your girlfriend. Bitch, those are called whores. I'm listening. But I get at your boy. Play with my balls a little bit. But that's just men and women dynamics. You know, as much as you might not want to admit it, I don't like this. Icky. That's just men and women dynamics, though. You know? If she can't, you know, do certain things, then not just physically, but again, like, I need your help. For example, like, what you need my help with? I got a problem, and my head hurts thinking about it. I need you to do some thinking for me. I need you to do some smart shit for me, which is the thinking. Like shoot me the problem.
Eyes on that
It's like
driver.
getting a pretty girl to help with a math problem. I need you to do some thinking for me. Like, can you write this out for me? Can you, paperwork, physical paperwork type shit. Like, baby, I need you to create a budget. Why you can't create the budget? Too much numbers. I gotta crunch too much numbers. Can you create the budget for me? What am I creating the budget for? X, Y, Z. Like, I ain't your damn secretary. Anybody ever had a woman tell them that? Guys, show a hand. A lot more guys have had women say, I ain't your secretary. Whether it be sister, mama, girlfriend, cousin. All had somebody say, I ain't your damn secretary. Because we need help thinking. S tier. That's the only one. I've got a car in the S tier. So and this is just life. It's until society changes and view men and women as equal. That's just life. There ain't no bitches gonna lift no heavy shit. Ooh, I do got an S. Ooh, give me the bandit, the Joker. So, games like Fortnite, Roblox, they're bound for failure. Just because of the age range that they cater to. Bound for failure. I could say Fortnite. Like, why keep going to the left? No, I ain't got no picture. Got this system and controller in February. I have to send you a new one. I got Verizon Home. I just had a system die on me. That's the second system I had die on me since the lifespan of the PlayStation 5. and they said they could repair it. They couldn't repair it, so for $100 I got a new system. Because I'm with Verizon Home. It's insurance for your home electronics. They fix ring cams, they fix video game consoles, like stick drift. If any of my controllers get stick drift, I can send them in to get them fixed for free. Console repairs. As long as it's just from normal wear and tear, it's not like you could throw that bitch down the stairs and like fix my console. Normal wear and tear. The PlayStation 5 itself is known for having a chip problem. So in 5 years, I went through 2 consoles. This is my 3rd console. They fix phones, tablets, laptops. Like with my laptop, I was mad as hell. They couldn't fix the laptop. But Verizon Home, I recommend it, especially if you live in a house of gamers or you've got a lot of electronics around the house. They don't fix appliances, but electronics. Apple Watches, any smartwatch, smartphone. $25 a month. Stick drift's fixed for free. They clean consoles and stuff for free. So if you're like, it's been a while, I haven't console in a while, it's a little dusty, and you want to just get it spruce stuff, they fix that shit, they do that shit for free. Investing, protect what you love, man, what you do.
on our dangerous driver?
That's what girls do. They perk up the girls to try to get you to do stuff. This is just facts. Look at my titties. It's just truth. And because women are materialistic, it's easy to bribe you. Show me some titties, I'll give you 20 bucks. What if I just show you a nipple? Nope, we gotta be full boob action. Both of them. Throwing an extra 5, you let me motorboat them. Trying to cut me off and not pay attention to the road. Motherfucker all up on the side of the road, talking about I'm better than you. Huh? So many times. Me and my girlfriend. Like lately, it's taking me a lot longer to get some. Because as a man who has been celibate for 3 years, like to enjoy something. You know, as a young man, you just decided to get in this. Now I like to enjoy it. I'll be that pussy for like an hour or so. So I mean that wasted condoms. And I won't get this bitch back. She's my like, she's not a bitch. Just talking freely. You know, and it's like putting condoms, right? But like the first time I thought, wasted like 3 condoms, 2 condoms. It's like I didn't play. But it's like, it's a break. You know? And I choose to play. Pretty sure she ain't had that. She knows like she got matches. Like a lot of them. You know? So, like last time it took us, like she was here from maybe 9, 10 o'clock to about 4. She was here from about 10. Clock started fucking around at 11. And I didn't bust my nut until 3:30 because she had to leave. You know what I'm saying? These sessions probably were long. You know, most of them would be a watch out. You know? All the wasted time. Get on birth control. I don't want to get that. You want that baby work? I ain't messing with shit. So I'm like, I want to stop eating my baby so much. So fucking good, man. But I'm afraid to bust a good, man. Right now, I gotta keep my balls in me. Keep my balls empty. So that there ain't no nut to bust with. This is a new thing. This started about maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Fucking to enjoy it and not just to bust a nut. It started about 4 or 5 years ago. It's a few women. Well, maybe like 2 that I fucked. And I still consider us still fucking. Because I ain't busted a nut yet. You know? happened like once when I was younger, in my early 20s. Once or twice, I be fucking my baby mama, my daughter's mother. And she, why you ain't come here? Like that, bitch, I don't wanna. It's actually enjoying it. Shut up. You know? Like, she ain't never complained. But this chick here, you know, I gotta be careful. If I hit her with the I love you, which I actually do got a lot of love for. You know? I can't say I don't. She's everything. She got everything I love about women. So do I love her? Yes. But I can't tell her that. She gonna be a fucking stalker. She gonna go crazy. No, I don't need her to be crazy. But that's my boo. That's my boo. Oh shit. Who worked with me tonight? That's a crew. That's not a bad crew. Page could be on my register. Put me and Melissa on the floor. Cashmere Cleveland when I get there. I'm gonna be there an hour and a half. Oh. Weirdos. Fucking weirdos. Fucking weirdos. I'll be back.